Let's go. We back in here. Be more for real. We gonna give everybody a second to join us.
Yeah, make sure they get on here.
Let's go. Be more for real, man.
I just gotta say, we're back, y'all.
Be more for real, man. We here to help y'all get through the week.
Yo.
Oh, rated R for reality, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother. Word to my brother. Rated R for reality. Be more for real. We back with you, man. Be more for real, man.
I'm on the way.
I'm OMG Danny, man.
Back for another Wednesday of Be More for Real.
Another Wednesday.
But you know what? We got to explain to them what is Be More for Real. You know, they tune in and they claim they understand, but I don't really think they understand what Be More for Real really means. Give them a breakdown on your age group version, and I'm going to give them mine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Be More for Real, like I have always been saying, Be More for Real is a double entendre. What it's made is so that we'd be more for real about Baltimore, but also that we'd be more for real about, you know, where we live at in the country, where we live at in the world in particular as a whole. So it's being more for real about our whole situation, our whole situation, and being more for real about our whole city. So that's what I was summing it up as
Yeah.
well.
Come on, put it together. Because we'll be more for real. Baltimore need to talk about what's going on for real, not the topics that people want to expose. The real deal from the inside out for real. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So Be More for Real. It's Wednesday. Welcome.
Be more for real, man. We're gonna help y'all get through,
again
get
another
through
hour.
the week,
Word,
man.
through this.
I'm telling you, man. We're gonna help y'all get through the week, man.
We're gonna get you through. We're gonna get you through.
For reality. We appreciate all our viewers and streamers, man. We can go ahead and clap it up for y'all as well. So, without further ado, Uncle Wayne, we just gonna go ahead and get into it. Our first topic of the night, man, is crazy, man. 2 men dead in a car crash, and you know, what we want to do is we want to show people this. You know, this came from Murder Inc. 2 dead after a single car crash on Patapsco Avenue. And, you know, this happens in every city. Just like we was on BMore Pod, and BMore Pod was talking about how...
BMore Pod, yo.
Yeah. Shout out BMore Pod, man. Shout out BMore Pod, man.
If ever a powerhouse, they are. They're like our brother from another mother.
Shout out BMore Pod.
Absolutely.
But just like we were talking about, you know, and it's crazy to look at, but you know, it's really a sad thing that we encounter all the time that we have to be more for real about. And this is what we're talking about, driving etiquette. You know what I'm saying?
That's his version of it. So listen how he came at it now.
There are two men, you know what I'm saying, dead in the streets. And, you know, we can see videos. If
you're going to show the video?
Yeah. Well, excuse me, not videos, but a photo. You know, we can see photos of the wreckage and things like that, you know. And I don't know if we can get a closer shot. Can we get a closer shot? This is a closer shot of the wreckage, that was faced in Patapsco a few
And
days ago, and
and I
it's
hope
very
you
hard.
guys can see well,
It's very heart wrenching, and our prayers and thoughts go out to the families of both of the victims that were involved in this accident. But yet and still, we have to talk about driving etiquette. We have to talk about driving etiquette. There were two men that died tonight, but how many people have died since vehicles have been made? You understand what I'm saying? These are stuff that we need to talk about. That
because we talk
need to
about
be
the
more
murder
for
rate
real
with a
about.
gun, but we're gonna show you the murder rate with
It's a
the
lot. It's a lot of
vehicles.
things. It's a lot of things. So
Because imagine this getting that call that someone are gone, and they ask you, do you know a certain, because they had to use that license and contact that person's house when they were in an accident because they're gone and dead because the accident killed the person. See, you don't feel this unless it happened to you. But these accidents happen a lot. And let me explain something to you. Not only you're stealing a car, you jump in it, you don't have the rules and regulations of the road, you just speeding because all you feel is though you in the car, you just want to speed. You don't realize the damages that you cause. First of all, you stole the car. That pain, it wears out then. Then you're driving because you're only thinking of yourself flying and going at a speed that you could kill any and everything, and you smash straight into something. And the part that wears me out, not that I'm saying that they die, but a lot of times the person that's in that car, they'll kill any and everybody and they still live.
yeah, that is
That
very
part blows
unfortunate.
my mind.
That's very unfortunate, and also as well, we want to send out condolences to the family. Absolutely.
Not that we're using your.
We just want to bring awareness to the situation, because everybody does not know. We're not saying that these particular people stealing cars, doing whatever. That's not the case. But what we are saying is that driving etiquette is yet and still a thing. So you know how when there's inclement weather, when people when it's raining, when it's snowing or whatever, people tend to speed. A lot of times it does tend to be teenagers, but
people drive anyway. What is
people drive the way they want to drive?
I'm 61. I'm gonna ask you this question. What is hydroplane? What is that?
Well, hydroplaning is when it's raining and the cars basically go on top of the rain. So when you come to stop, you know what I'm saying? You can't actually stop because you on that hydroplane.
Right.
You on that.
Hey, I like to know that.
You on that
now,
thing.
see, that's different because I thought I would challenge him with that because most of the young ones think, hey, you deserve that and then some. Most of the young ones don't understand that. They so busy trying to get somewhere fast so much that they don't even understand that is a very dangerous thing. That's when you have no control at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So very good on that. So I had to take that back.
well, it's all good.
Good ass.
It's all good.
Be
more for real.
Yeah.
Be more for real. Boom. Keep it locked with us. Be more for real.
But that driving, we got to get back there because of the drive. And listen, I have to get on you because you all think driving fast is driving. That's not it. You can drive fast all you want to. It's how well you maneuver makes you the driver. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you're going to find out driving fast, you can't maneuver because if you turn a vehicle, you lose control. You got to drive for the long haul. That's why it's important before you drive, get a license, get the permit, learn the rules of the road.
Man, be more for real, man. Keep it locked with us.
Dude.
Be more for real, and that is a honest thing because we have to realize when we're driving, the vehicles and things like that are essentially a weapon. I mean, if you run over a person, even if you hit somebody and you don't die, and the other person dies in the car crash, you know what I'm saying? You're still responsible. You're still liable. And like I said, we're not getting on the family in no way, shape, or form.
Well,
Matter
I
of
am.
fact, if the family could reach out to us, you know what I'm saying, and if they
If
have
I'm-
anything that they need, let's make sure that Be More for Real is here
We
for the
got
families.
in that case.
We're here for the
That we
family.
do.
We are here for the family.
But listen, we got to take accountability.
We have to take accountability, and these are the situations that we have also faced as a community. I don't think that we have taken it serious enough to actually discuss it within our households.
We don't.
People take driving as if it's something that you can just do.
Mm-hmm. Get behind the wheel and just move the vehicle
as you will.
But you know what? Not to switch subject. I used to drive up Pikesville in Orange Mills, and no offense, it's like some of those people up there they just get in the car and drive. I'm not gonna lie, they just come out right down road and don't look. And I'm not trying to call any race of people because you know what I mean, you know how people get. But in those areas, they got the big gigantic rings and the old jewelry, and you just see them old and they just driving. And they got the big vehicles, but you see they just drive. I don't think people really take how many people die in car accidents per year. You really don't take it serious.
I really don't. And we had it for you guys today, but we couldn't bring it up. But if you will, don't be a dummy with a smartphone. You can absolutely Google and find out that the fourth
Google
leading,
something worth Googling.
Don't let your phone be smarter than you.
Well said.
Let that apply to whom it applies to. But look, the fourth leading cause of humans are accidents.
That's why we're bringing this up. Remember, we'll be more for real. You may not understand what we're talking about, but when you're in an emergency room and you done ran down there because that person in there, you're like, oh, we heard this before. Remember, a car is a dangerous weapon.
Be more for real, man. For real, we have to talk about this, and I really appreciate you, Uncle Wayne, for even mentioning that, and that's ultra important. Vehicles, the way that we use these things and everything, we think that this stuff is a right. And you know what? I'm gonna twist everybody's head up. It is a right. We're gonna get into this stuff. But look,
so it is.
But you don't have a right to put everybody else in jeopardy.
Get into this talk where you think it's a right.
It's a right to be able to travel. Absolutely.
Is it?
It is.
Once upon a time when
we'll get into that in 1 second. But what I wanted to say was about driving is you have to share the road. When it comes to driving, you have to share the road. I mean, there are numerous things that could happen. Let's imagine that you go into a neighborhood, right? And in this neighborhood, there are children that play ball and all this stuff. The ball could come out on the street. The children can come out on the street. The animals could come out the yard. You understand what I'm saying? And things could happen. That's why they have speed zones and things like that. I mean, all of that is fine and dandy. But when we look at the totality of it, we are on the road with other people. So when you're speeding and when you're doing other things, you put other people at jeopardy, not just yourself. So it's ultra disrespectful for you to drive the roads like you own them, because you don't. Everybody else share these roads.
But do they? If they did, it wouldn't be. And watch this. You pay attention to like accidents that don't happen and all the stuff around. Listen, I'm around Penn North. That area around there is like a scenic route. When you're driving through there, you can't help to look around. And that's why there's been so many accidents in that same area. Does things change? Nope. The same thing. We pay attention to everything else but what we're supposed to be. If you in a vehicle, do you know how much that vehicle weigh? So do you know the wrong little move can kill and take someone? And then in the city, people don't pay attention. They walk right out in the street.
And that's why I like to talk about law. And this is, we're going to get into this.
Talk to me.
But, when people are distracted, texting and driving, laws
like that. Are they really distracted or are they just not paying attention?
Same thing.
It's a difference.
Same thing.
Distracted if because like I said, I'm 61. You have to understand where we're coming from. We all use words as excuses. You got to take them out. Distracted, if you distracted for real, if you're doing something, understand it that you have to do. But when you're just not paying attention, like on a phone, putting makeup on, stuff like that, you're just not paying attention. You need to be held accountable. Ain't no more excuses. I'm Uncle Wayne. I'm coming for your juggler. You understand? No more excuses. Pay attention.
I don't really have excuses, but I do have discrepancies. I don't have excuses.
Look how he threw his excuses. Y'all unbelievable.
I don't care how you put it. You know what I'm saying?
This another reason to get
for the younger generation. And no, this is not an excuse.
I'm sure it's not.
This
Your
is not,
version of it.
It's not.
It's not an excuse. Not Uncle Wayne. It's not.
It's not an excuse for us to do what we want to do on the road. But what I would say is that
do what you want to do.
No, I wouldn't even say do what you want to do. What I would say is, look, when it comes to driving, when it comes to the roads and all that stuff, it's as it is with life. And as it is with anything else. Do unto others as you will have others do unto you. You got people, right? That that cut you off over lanes. You know what I'm saying? And then and then in that same day, maybe a few instances before, somebody must have let you over so you can even be in a position to be where you at.
You forgot about that. You remember the one who don't.
You just you just want to
think about.
You just care about where you going.
That's it.
It's
because
a lot
the ones
of people
who let you over,
else too.
But look, think about driving. The ones who let you over, you forgot all about because it's nice you let you over. The one who don't is the one you know?
And road rage get people killed.
And
so let's be more for real about that, man. Be more for real. You heard it here.
Road rage, you heard it here. You heard it out.
First of all, if you're listening to the stream, we would appreciate if you like, share, and subscribe. We definitely appreciate all of our viewers, all of our streamers.
We do appreciate our viewers. We do.
We reached 200. Our goal is 300, man. The bottom of the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next.
1 million.
Yeah. Well, we just gonna keep climbing.
Get with the goal.
Our goal is just to keep climbing and get as many. Get as many.
If you ain't for real, hey. Just keep on going by, swipe on by.
Yep.
Because if you're not for real, because we got to hit you in the jugular vein. In order for you all to get this right, me as older have to teach you so you can teach them. That's the only way it's going to happen. That preaching and running your mouth, those days are over. Nobody don't want to hear what you have to say. Somebody want to hear what you have to do behind it. You understand?
Let's be more for real.
Y'all future. I feel you.
Let's be more for real. Let's be more for real.
I like those teenagers bucking. I really do believe because when y'all buck, y'all had enough, and I understand. Because if you all don't change things, things are never going to get changed.
But when it comes to driving, teenagers are often the most reckless. So now what do we have to say about teenagers and young people who often cause a lot of the accidents that we see on the streets? We don't talk about this stuff. Why don't we talk about accidents and stuff on the streets, Uncle Wayne? Can you please explain that to me?
You know why? Because it's not. Let me see what I'm saying. Stealing cars is viewers. You could get the viewers, but the accidents, they don't care. It's not that. Now they like the shooting each other. They like that. See, you got to understand. They only put and produce things that people want to look at. Sad, but it's true. If you ever see in school, you ever see that accident where they said drinking and driving, they show you that video of people heads got cut off and all them. Y'all probably don't even know those videos, but
we might need to censor some of that information. But
they had those videos where they try to get us to stop drinking and driving,
right?
And to really show, and they show real accidents. They didn't create it. It was real accidents where they viewed, but it never really mattered. They glossed past that. You have to understand, vehicles causes some serious damage. People drink and get behind the wheel, but watch this. You could smoke and get behind the wheel and do the dumbest things as you do when you drink. I lie not to you. People sometimes smoke, they feel as though they get in that mode and then they want to drive all fast. Remember I kept saying that, driving fast, you have less control when a vehicle is going at a fast speed. It's the true fact. So when you make the last minute decision, it's too late when the vehicle is going to speed. It's too late. Trying to, after you done kill somebody.
No, that's a great point because
think about it.
That's a great point because that is absolutely true. First of all, when we drink, and let's be more for real about it. Let's be more for real. When you drink, your timing is delayed, right?
Smoking.
So that's a true fact. When you drink impaired,
popping,
when you're under the influence,
snorting,
which is why they got the which is why they have the law about driving under the influence. But when you are under influence, you have a delayed reaction. So with that delayed reaction comes you driving on the road. And let's say anything could happen, emergency, a dead,
and
child,
it does.
Whatever.
And
you know what I'm saying? Your reaction is delayed.
You're in BMore. We're talking about BMore4Real. Somebody always walking out in the street if you riding inside of BMore City.
I mean, let's be more for real about it.
You walk right out in the street. And some are wheelchairs in the street, the baby in the carriage, the baby stroller. You see some black women like, I know she's not going to go right out in the street. She'll take her out there and pushing the baby before her. It's like, OMG. What is wrong with us? So that's what I'm saying. If you're in a vehicle, you have to remember, you are in control. You have to be, because what you do comes back on you. Can you imagine if you did hit the baby and killed the baby? Do you understand? You're trying to prove a point, and then you're going to argue with the one, you didn't have the baby out there, but you still hit the baby. See? You don't mind. See? Be more. See?
Be more for real, man.
For real.
Conversations on the planet. One thing that we want to encourage people to do is to drive like other people are on the road, not just for yourself. Not just for yourself. Let's be more for real about it. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Drive like that. There are other people on the road. It's just not just you. Drive like how you want to be treated. And like we just said, and like we just explained, a lot of people want to get over on the roads and get over on lanes. People let you over, and then you want to protrude to, keep on moving and don't let nobody else over. We got drivers like that. That could be a mental capacity.
Instead of letting you over, they act like they don't see you. You be trying like, over there like they don't see you.
Yeah, come on, man.
We are horrible at each other.
And you know what? The most important thing of it all is it creates traffic. The reason why we have traffic is because people cannot drive. For sure.
You think that's the reason?
Yeah, people can't drive. What other reason would it be for traffic? If you knew the right of way, you knew everything.
Insurance.
You knew how to move.
Baltimore insurance is so expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because we some of the worst drivers. Because our insurance in Baltimore, we jump around, but BMore4Real, our insurance for vehicles are so damn expensive.
It is. And with that being said, let's go to the topic of the night. Let's go, man. BMore4Real.
Drive safe, y'all. Drive safe. But the topic of the night, bang.
The rule of law. Make sure y'all drive safe, but the topic is the rule of law. And we're going to get into this, and it might take us a little longer than what we anticipated because we have none other than Uncle Wayne running for mayor of Baltimore City. So we're going to go ahead and clap it up. Make sure y'all remember that. Uncle Wayne, let them know. Just let them know briefly, you know what I'm saying, what you doing for the city and your ideals for the city.
Listen, real quick. I know a lot of you say, okay, Uncle Wayne, get out there. You got to get out there. Listen, I'm letting God lead the way. I have to learn a lot that I'm learning. And I'm telling you all, be patient with me. I had to go see his staff. I had to see the staff of some of the departments of Baltimore City. I have to learn who's running the city and who's running these departments. I've been into the departments and see they are all raggedy. Then I have to see who's running the departments. And as I do, I get a chance to see why Baltimore is the way it is. A lot of these departments are right together at the same time. They don't have nothing to do with each other. We're so divided. We're divided all the way around. And remember, divide and conquer. So Baltimore need to get ourselves together from the inside out for real. So be patient at me. I'm doing the work, y'all. I'm trying to pull it together. And when I hit them streets, y'all gonna be with me. You understand? Just follow the lead. Because I ain't following God lead. You understand? Love here.
Man, follow the lead, man.
Work.
Follow the lead.
Let me do the work. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be the flashy one. And remember, we all want. This is the thing that gets me upset. You expect someone to come to you in a suit, whispering sweet nothings in your ear, and promising you all these things that never going to get done. We're so used to that. And that has got to stop. I'm coming to you for real. I'm going to work hard in Baltimore, and I ain't going to be in a suit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, that's the thing. My ass is clean, okay, but I ain't in no suit. The thing about it, it's time for Baltimore to work like a well-oiled machine, and it has to work on all the departments. We have to work together for the greater good. You understand? And that's what's going to happen. You all keep looking at the flashing lights and the shiny new nickel. That's why we're not getting to where we are now. Our people are suffering. We have little to nothing. And it's time for a change for real.
For real. Be more for real, man. Man. What?
So keep me in your prayers, and believe me, I am working
hard. Keep me in your prayers, but make sure you most importantly vote for him, because we doing this together, man. It's just not us. The real Richie Rio, shout out real Richie Rio. He said, man. Y'all are blessings, man. We appreciate you. You're a blessing as well. All of our viewers, all of our streaming, everybody's a blessing as well.
Absolutely.
We have a treat for you guys nonetheless. I mean, this is just going to get as deep as it can get. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the rule of law. And let me tell you, let me give you guys a little bit on what we mean by the rule of law. So I have wrote just a little soliloquy on.
Get out of here.
I wrote a little soliloquy on the rule of law and where we going with this program. It said America locks us up and disconnects us from the real world, but somehow they want us to be rehabilitated through years of incarceration that does not facilitate acclimation to modern civilization. It's a perpetual cycle that the elites are facilitating. Everything we do is incriminating because we don't know the law. We don't know the law well enough to call ourselves law-abiding citizens. If we did, there'd be no need to have a lawyer to represent you in court. If, and I mean a huge emphasis on if we need a law like we should. So that would be my open thing, you know what I'm saying?
Break it
the
down.
Rule of law, you know what I'm saying?
Break
the
it
rule
down
of law. So let's go ahead and break it down. So the rule of law is just basically this. We call ourselves law-abiding citizens, but we ourselves do not understand the law. If we did, the law wouldn't be written as such. It's almost as if the law is written in another language. So why would people and how would people expect for people that are in America, people that are citizens, quote unquote, how would you expect us We back in here. We apologize about the inconvenience, man. We are back in here, man. Let's
Technical difficult.
technical difficulties.
It's like
The rule of law. Let's go ahead and bring this up.
rule of which law? Our law, because we just broke a few of our own.
Long day. Rule of law.
Yeah, and we still here, y'all. We just had to get some shit right.
Let's go back through this really quickly. America locks us up and disconnects us from the real world, but somehow wants us to be rehabilitated through years of incarceration that does not facilitate the acclimation to modern civilization. It's a perpetual cycle that the elites are facilitating. Everything we do is incriminating because we don't know the law. We don't know the law well enough to call ourselves law abiding citizens. If we did, there'd be no need to have a lawyer represent you in court if, and a huge emphasis on if,
Yeah, I heard.
we knew the law like we should.
Fine. And as you was breaking it down, we blanked out.
Yeah, we did blank out.
We blinked out.
And that is a crazy part
Same,
of the
yo. Same.
The enemy, it's always going to try to get you, but we are always on the steady. We always on the prowl. There's nothing that the enemy can make us do. Or say that would drive us.
We ain't giving up.
Stop us
from
accomplishing what we need to accomplish.
We not gonna fall. We
Never been
you all working with us and hanging in us through those times. You know what I mean? Those hiccups and those clips that we do. You have to understand something. Life is like that. You have to understand it is never smooth sailing. But when those bumps in the road, we deal with them. Mm-hmm. That's what we do. That's what real men do. And women.
And let's be more for real. We back in here with y'all.
Be more for real, y'all.
We appreciate everybody that had a lot with us. Technical difficulties, they happen. But what does happen is we're gonna grow stronger. But as we digress, the rule of law.
Rule of law. Yeah, the rule of
law. One of the things about the rule of law and why the law needs to change and things of that nature. And by the way, this is why laws need to be changed. This is why it's coming about a change that we need to happen. Um, we have the rule of law and it disconnects us from life. So let's say that you did make a mistake, and that mistake wind up costing you 5, 10 years in prison. Now that 5 or 10 years in prison then set you back on the way in the pace that life operates as well. So the whole problem with that is that the correctional system and even the jail system that's afforded to us, if you want to say afforded, is not conducive to people coming out and being better versions of their self. And that's what the whole point of, what we do, but the whole jail, the whole law, everything needs to be reformed. I mean, everything from top to bottom. How can we change these laws? Because we know the pattern, we know the situation. How can we change these laws when we know that daggone it, every time you receive a felony, and even if you receive one, then you're probably not going to be able to get a good, decent job. You understand what I'm saying? And actually provide
It's set up.
for your family.
Set up for failure. It's set up for failure because the rules and regulations, the policies and procedures that was put into effect, what they call laws, a very long time ago. We don't invest in those laws. We don't get into them. We don't learn them. Only time when something happened is popular, we on it. We've got to learn the foundation of those laws.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we can be successful if we change some of them, change most of them. Laws, rules, the regulations, policies, and procedures. You know? There we go. We've got to learn. Y'all, as younger ones, have got to get involved. You have to get deep and understand the rules that they set up. They were not fair. And it's time to make a change. If you all don't get involved, like watch this. Instead of punishing those teenagers for stealing cars, get them to get involved with the law, because guess what? They are smarter than you think. The reason they're taking the cars is because they know those laws. Get it? They know that if it's taking something, a property, watch this. If it's unauthorized use of a vehicle, they're learning the difference.
Okay.
Then taking or stealing, the laws are different. They know where they can be punished and when they're not. So watch this. They're not dummies. They're just acting out. They're using the laws to work for them. So are they dummies? Get it? Who's the dummy? Is it us or them? We've got to understand those young teenagers are acting out. They are acting out. We have got to find a way to bridge the gap to understand why they're doing the things that they're doing. Stop trying to punish them more and more. Stop trying to find a reason to keep them locked up and find out the reason why they are doing the things that they are doing.
Well, my thing is this. Now, when we really look at it on just a general scale, the United States was built off of racism. A lot of people don't want to talk about racism. A lot of people don't want to talk about any of these things.
True.
But, there's a reason why the 13th, 14th Amendment was made. We will also get into that. We will also get into law. And what better episode to get into law than what we are talking about right now. So, the law is twofold. It's two-faceted. Are we in a law of the land, or are we in a law of money, or whatever else? Because a lot of laws are associated with crimes, and then there are some laws that are associated with the Constitution. So, are we under constitutional law, or are we under the law of money, the law of sea, the law of currency?
The root of all evil.
Well, money in itself is not the root of all
The
evil, but the
love.
love of money. What you would do for money,
Absolutely.
absolutely. So in that sense, yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know the law. How can we say that we are law-abiding citizens when we don't know the law,
Sure.
and we need somebody else to represent us in
Mm-hmm.
court? Can we truly say, as American citizens, that we know the law and abide by the law when we need somebody else to represent us when it comes to conflict within the law? That does not make sense to me.
But it's not meant to. See, the law is meant to dictate the way they want. That's why most of us are stuck in our situations.
Mm-hmm.
When we get into a situation of any being charged with any crime, they don't want us to speak up for ourselves. They want us to be represented by someone who claims that they know the law. If I'm saying something to you, you understand what I'm saying. Why do someone else have to do it because they know the so-called laws? I'm the one that being charged. It's my freedom that's on the line.
Right. But now, if the law, right, if you as a governor, let's just say king, you as a king, if you find out these people are not upholding the rules and regulations in which you have set forth, wouldn't that be? It would be justification for that. So my thing is the law just or just? Does it bring forth justice despite of these conflicts in morality? There are real conflicts in morality. And so this is why, and I know you're running for mayor. You know, we're gonna be more for real. Let's be more for real. We're gonna be more for real about this.
Always,
man.
every day.
We're gonna be more for real about this because the law is designed in a way that we don't even understand. So if we don't understand the law, can we truly say that we are law-abiding citizens?
Nice way you put
That
it.
will be my question.
Absolutely. And we know it's not. We sitting up there in front of them judges. Most of the times we don't know the law. And guess
Say that
what?
again one time. We know what?
We don't know the law. We sitting in front of a lot of those judges and times we really don't know the law. And you ready for this? And a lot of times our representation don't really know the law either. Because the law always seems to work in their favor, not ours. So you know it's really strange. It's like playing a game and always the rules change so you can always lose. It doesn't make sense. But you know what? I'm going to say this one more time. If we pull together, we can change a lot of that. But like you said, we got to know the law that we changing. If we don't know the law, what are we going to do? Follow in line behind everybody else? We got to change this. We do, but we have got to know our laws. And that's why we need representations for real. Y'all young ones have got to lead. You do. You got to change those laws. You know what I mean?
For real.
I'm going in there as mayor because I want to make sure you guys can come behind and do what you're supposed to do. I'm not in there. The last thing I want to do is have people all in my business. That's the last thing I want because that is not what my purpose is. But when God say you have to do something, I have got to do it. So I'm going to follow what I have got to do.
Be more for real. Be more for real.
Be more the laws are holding us back, brother. You said it. The law.
But that's the thing. And see, I'm one of the thinkers of my generation because other people have other skills and other crafts. But you know, the Most High gave me a skill to think. And I was thinking that if we don't know the laws, how can we call ourselves law-abiding citizens, which we discussed? But you know, why is the law constructed in a language? You understand what I'm saying? That we can't even understand. You know, we all speak English, right? And the law is supposedly written in English. What the heck is it about the goddamn law that don't make us understand what is written in it? And why do they write the law like that? Why is it written like that?
It just wasn't. It's not meant for us. It really was not meant for us. It was meant to hold us down and get us through. But a lot of those laws were set up for us to fail, or we were property. Let's get it even deeper. When those laws were constructed and put together, we were slaves, so we were property. There was nothing into how we were going to get to a level of surviving and being productive and effective in our race. It wasn't there. And then when we did get our leaders, the fight is so hard to try to get others to understand us and get us to understand each other at the same time. I understand that. That's the tough part, because when something is good for us, at first I got to get us to understand it, and then I got to get them to understand it. It's confusing.
Well,
That's
for me,
why
for me,
we got to
look,
make some changes. Y'all do.
that's good. That's good.
Gotta
We
leave.
gotta make some changes.
Y'all have got to
We
leave.
have to make some changes. We really do. And for me, I believe that the change starts with the education. You know, because
Big part
a
of it.
lot of us are undereducated on the things that goes on within the community and things like that. And then another thing that hurts us is the not voting. You know what I'm saying? Not actually participating and being a part of the change and being a part of the facilitation of the change.
True.
However, when it comes to the state of us as a people, especially in the United States of America, I think that the real struggle comes from being able to change government. There was a quote, I think it was by Andrew Jackson. Don't quote me on that, but it's a quote nonetheless by one of the presidents or one of the great pioneers of this country, Benjamin Franklin, somewhere along.
Said one of the great pioneers.
One of the they call great pioneers. He said that, you know, when the people control the government, there is peace, but when the government control the people, there is tyranny. So, you know, when the government is controlling the people, there is tyranny. You can see tyrannical acts going on around here. Even if white people aren't racist, the fact that the system will constantly put us up there and show us being gunned down, being suffocated, and being euthanized in a YouTube friendly way by the government.
It's a YouTube friendly
in a
way.
YouTube friendly way. For us being euthanized in front of them, it's like it's nothing to them. But they would never show the inners and the outs of this thing. You don't understand what I'm saying? That's why it's an attack on English, it's an attack on racism, because we don't pay attention enough to learn. And I understand that that's what sports and all these things was about. It was about a distraction. So while we caught up on sports, makeup, while we caught up on clothes, shoes, there are things.
The shiny nickel.
There are things going on under our nose that we don't choose to address.
In our face.
And that's the whole reason that we had, just to deprogram you to all that.
Hey.
But what you saying,
and
what you saying?
I can agree with you 100%, but it is time for you all to make the change. You all have got to lead. Listen, that's what I'm saying. Look at your life. This is why I'm Uncle Wayne. I'm on, and a lot of, you know, sometimes saying, Uncle Wayne, your expectations are so high. It is not. You just have to be yourself and lead. God asks of you to do that. You can't follow anyone else because your family is not like their family. Your family is unique. God put the things in your family are unique. You got to lead your family the way you supposed to. You can't be someone else. You have to be yourself. Your children are your children. Your baby mother's your mother. And you got to understand a queen from a baby mother. Let me throw this in there. Let's do some laws of us as blacks. As black men, you don't understand a queen from a baby's mother. There's two different dynamics, and you need to learn that because you spend too much time trying to get your baby mother to be the queen. And you turn around and disrespect your queen and think she's your baby mother. There's a difference between the two, and you need to learn the difference, my friend. You understand? And it's time to be taught. Because when the right king and queen together, they will be unstoppable. And you better remember that. Unstoppable. So for once and we are out again.
We out.
Satan don't want this tonight.
Hey, they don't want this,
deep.
but look, we're gonna
They
talk
don't
about the
want
law. Give us 1 second. We're gonna come right back to
in.
you. Sorry about that, guys, man. Sorry about that. We still here, man. Like I said, like we said, trials and tribulations is not gonna stop us from anything.
There you go. Well, Satan's no heed. We don't have to give him that much. They don't want you to get this message through. You all gotta get this because you gotta lead. I don't care what else. You gotta remember it's your time and it's your turn. We have got to lead. And y'all young black men need to understand the things you going through is not to shut you up and throw you away. It's to challenge you. It's to show the real you. When you have been given a gift from God, you have to appreciate it. So when you have children and you have that situation, remember, that's very important. Very, very important. If you're in that child's life, you can make a difference. If you're not in that child's life, you can make a difference. Remember that. From one man to another, I'm Uncle Wayne. I am 61 years old. I'm trying to tell the younger generation, protect and love the gifts that God has given you. And your life will be a little bit better.
But see, me on the flip side,
flip it.
This is where I'm at with the law. And it's so frustrating with the law, right? Because the law say you have the right of freedom of speech, right? The Constitution, should I say. That's why I say, what law are we following, man? What law are we following? This is why we need our people to represent us, because the law is not being understood. You cannot keep us down with your language oppression. We don't understand the law. At what point do we understand the law enough to be able to follow it? Now, that's number one. Now, that's number one. Number two, why is the law written in a way that we cannot understand it?
That speaks for itself. They don't want us to.
And I'm glad you said that. But number three, which really should be number one, which is important of all, there are people in this world, and we're gonna be more for real. You know, this is what I'm going to say to the people. It's people in this world that believe that the Bible has too many laws, 613, whatever. If you could look at it, how many federal laws does the United States have? Over 30,000. So if you call yourself a law-abiding citizen and you don't obey the law of the Most High, the law of Yah, the creator of heaven and earth, you lost your mind. That's what I'm going to say. You lost your mind. Those are three major points.
I love that line.
Those are three major points.
I love that line.
Those are three major points. But what is America doing that we don't understand the law? And no, we're not coming against America. We're not Confederates. Now, remember the Confederates, they raised a war against America. Well, this ain't that type of civil war.
Yeah, we just need to understand the
This
law.
ain't that type of civil war. If you want law-abiding citizens, then tell us what the law is.
Break it down.
Tell us, why do we need lawyers to represent us in court if we know that what we did is wrong. But you mean to tell me that even if what I did is right, if it's wrong in the law's eye, there is no justice. So there's an illusion going out to our people. And this is what we mean by the rule of law. There is something going out to our people. There's a law that's been given to our people that has not been given to us from the Most High. They say that we can learn about all this other stuff, all this LGBTQ and all this other stuff without learning how we even got here in heterosexual relationships. What are these curriculums? What are these curriculums? What are they teaching us within law? They are teaching us, especially in Maryland, that we can't defend ourselves. You got the right to retreat. You got the right to run away. You have states like Texas that say you can defend yourself.
The laws are all over the place. They have so many different laws for so many different things. Like you said, the LOGB. It's like they said all these laws all over the place. People just need to be yourself. Do what's right. And you know what? God broke it down. All those other laws put it straight to. We know the law, the simple ones. You treat people the way you want to be treated. Plain and simple. Don't do nothing to no one you don't want done to you.
I found myself telling my sons that too.
It's simple as it is. You don't kill nobody you don't want to be killed. You don't steal from nobody. You don't want nobody stealing from you. And stop cheating and looking at somebody else's wife and you don't want nobody looking at you. Like God said, y'all, behave. You know right from wrong. And if you do right in life, right comes back to you. It does. You understand? It's going to trickle down and nothing is perfect. You got to understand that. That's how you work things out. God look at your challenge. When things come at you, he wants to see how you handle it. Who do you let fight your battles? Do you understand? If you fight your battles yourself, you're going to see the outcome. You understand? But if you use God to fight your battles, then you understand you'll win the war. You understand?
Hey, we appreciate all of our viewers for being here as well. You know what I'm saying?
We went through this.
We went through this in and out. We went through this in and out. But we appreciate all of our viewers, all of our comments and everything nonetheless. But what we want to understand is as well too is the rule of law, man. The law is not written in a language that we can understand. We all speak English, right?
Do we?
Well, for the most part. I guess in America, if you're in this part of the world, you know what I'm saying? We speak English.
And what is English?
There are people that speak multiple language, and English is just
what
one.
The hell is English?
It may not be the primary one. And that's a good question. You know, what is English? All this other stuff. English is a mixture of, Germanic and Latin and another language, Greek. You know what I'm saying? Like words like pharmacy come from Greek and Latin. The Latin word pharmakia that a lot of people don't know, which comes from the Greek and Latin meaning of sorcery is witchcraft in a sense. Like, you mentioned
I didn't even know
potions and all of that stuff. That's where drugs actually come from and pharmacies. So that's what I was saying about
these things. We don't know these things. We're not being taught.
That's what I was saying about it, and that's what we are building the series on. You know what I'm saying? On the English side, just battling English.
And we waiting for that segment too. Remember, we waiting on that segment.
Oh, that's gonna be a powerful segment, and it goes along with the law. You understand what I'm saying? Because what law are we living in? We live in a day where even though we were talking about driving, and we got to that earlier. The Constitution says that we have a right to travel. It doesn't say how or anything like that, but the law, some other laws says that you need a license. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. Let's say you wanted to fly a plane or whatever. Like, you can't just be up in the air and especially take people with you. So it makes sense. You can't just be up in the car.
I got a speeding ticket, I was flying an airplane, got a speeding ticket.
You can't just be up in the car and, you know what I'm saying, have people with you and don't know how to drive. I understand that. But is the original law true, or what we set with the licenses true? Because at the end of the day, if we need a license to drive, then we are not free to travel. If we need a license or a passport to fly, then we're not free to travel.
I understand the
So,
laws,
I would like
to a degree, but the laws need to make sense. That's the difference.
the laws don't make
They
sense.
don't.
And because just like how we talk about the laws, the driving etiquette, the speeding cameras,
Oh,
the city,
different story.
the city and the states and all of them, they make so much money off speeding cameras. Speeding cameras have so much faults and errors. You're making all this money. Speed cameras, red light cameras.
They make their money.
Insurance. I mean, how do you expect people to drive and travel
Parking
and actually
too. Not forget about the parking too.
produce commerce? Because that's what the United States is all about. How do you expect us to produce commerce with all these stipulations? It does not make sense.
And it's not right. It's
The
not meant
United
to make
States needs
sense.
to be revamped.
It's meant to make money and to make revenue of
Money
some
for
sort.
who?
That's how they do it. That's how they pull it in, and then they can control the dynamics. We got to change some of them laws because we make the city and state so much money on our demise. We do the things we do, like the tickets and the speeding camera and the murder, the OD, the depression. All of these things are all together once again are laws and regulations and rules that they were set up. That's why we're failing. We don't change anything. And I got to talk about Donald Trump.
Let's bring it up.
Donald Trump jumped in and out the loops of the laws that were set up. He knows the laws so well that he rides in, or they try to destroy him, but all he's doing is living on the rules and regulations that were created by them.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because
Think about it.
I love to think about that too, and we just gonna go ahead and try. Great analogy. Great.
Trump a lot of things, but
Great.
he's using
He using
the
law,
rules and regulations and
he
laws
using the law against himself. Now, see, let me tell you
to work for him.
Let me tell you what I think. When laws actually apply, they apply to everybody and it applies all the way around. It does not matter what situation that you in.
That's a different story.
That's what laws should be. Like universal laws.
Should.
Let's say the law of gravity, for instance. You know what I'm saying?
That's a different story.
In the scientific world, in the scientific world, the law of gravity, it applies to everybody and everything.
Now,
that's on Earth.
That's a difference.
You know what I'm saying?
Understand that.
Let's say rain. It rains on the Bible say it rains on the just as well as the unjust. So it's gonna rain on everybody, whether you're a good person or a bad person.
You'll get wet.
It's gonna be rainy days,
if you don't have no cover,
snowy days, cloudy days, no matter what. So no matter if you're a good person or a bad person, you're gonna experience these days. But the law has loopholes, like you were saying, like with Trump, where as though he can come in there and all his counterparts, all his constituents can come in there and benefit off of his campaign. So why can't other people do the same thing? About other people, I really mean black people. So let's be more for real about that. Let's be more for real, man. Why can't black people benefit off the same? And if these conversations can't be had, they really can't be had. But look, the law, the way that it was built and even fashioned, even though the law said that all men were created equal and all this stuff, the founding fathers that they say had slaves. So obviously, it's only one of two things. All men were not, or both of what I'm about to say. It's either obvious that all men were not created equal, or that black people were not seen as human. Either way, all men weren't created equal, as the Constitution says. So why shouldn't we as people, not just black or whoever, why cannot we as Americans change government the way that we see fit, the way that it was written?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
You know what? I'm going to explain something to you. It is time to do that. That's why I'm trying to teach you all so you all be able to do it, because instead of those teenagers stealing cars and they're frustrated and all, they should be working on ways to change some laws, some rules and regulations that works for them. It is. That's why they're acting out, because they don't feel a future for them. It's time to stop targeting people who read and write and trying to push them to college. That's just unfair. It's time to make sure everyone is created and treated equally. It is. Whatever your skill is should be your skill. Whatever that skill is should be that skill. Start trying to make everyone do the same thing. That's why we're failing. Those rules and regulations, policies, and procedures are old and antiquated, and they need to be redone. Yes. It's time. And guess what? Who's going to do it? That's why I keep saying I can get y'all in so you all can make the changes. It is. It's time to make the.
All right. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. It's time. It's time to end the live. We appreciate all of our live viewers.
I mean,
you know, we have to have more conversations on the law.
We do.
This stream was extremely excruciating, but yet and still educating. And we want to make sure that all of our viewers are edified in the process. So, without further ado, you know what I'm saying, I'm your co-host, OMG.
Hey, and I'm Uncle Wayne running for mayor of Baltimore City. And remember, we are going to let you guys know what's going on through BMore4Real so we can keep it real all the way in. It's 2024, y'all, and no room for error, no more excuses.
BMore4Real, man. Keep it locked with us, man. You already know
there
what time
you
we're
go.
on, man. I'm OMG Danny, man.
I'm Uncle Wayne.
Catch you next Wednesday. Get your weekly dose of reality. Be more
Hey,
for
be
real.
blessed, y'all. Remember, be blessed.